points. All right, on to race number 3 on the programme. And the third is a Class 5 again, 1650 the trip here. Jimson the Famous drops back into Class 5 company. Great Top Light drops down in grade as well. Happy Beauty's had a stable change. He was a course and distance winner in July. Diamond Friends last start course and distance winner. Equity Doctrine was behind Diamond Friends, runner-up in actual fact last time out. Down to Happy Friendship is a 2-time all-weather winner. Digital Pioneer and Winningly, both all-weather maidens after a couple of attempts.
Up to the 1650. Jimson the Famous mapped in front there, but we know that he can be a little bit awkward out of the gate, so there's a bit of a question mark there whether or not he will find the rail. Great Top Light might be looking to do the same from the 14, so they should generate a little bit of speed from wider out. You'll have Happy Beauty kicking up and probably Winningly also, so I expect a fairly solid tempo.
Yeah, and here is Happy Beauty. He's changed stables, so I thought I'd show with the new stable now. Was with Peter Ho, he's now with Francis Loy, but Francis Loy's got him going really nicely. He's only had 2 starts on the surface as well, and he's got a senior rider aboard now with Zach Purdon, who's done most of the work on Happy Beauty. You can see that was the first gallop with him, and now here's one down the back straight as well, and he's going really nicely, I think, this horse, and he's been well prepared. Tongue tie goes on him as well, which is quite interesting. So he looks well prepared for this particular contest. Equity Doctrine's going nicely. He's one of these all-weather specialists we talk about earlier on. He's, when I say that, he's only won 1 race, but it has been on this surface, and 2 placings from his... any run he's done good in Hong Kong has been on the surface. Soccer Brave. Now, I'd highlight this. He's put on 30 pounds. You can see he's looking a little bit tubby around the stomach because he's not a big horse. So it is showing a little bit with him, but he has won on the surface before. Gets
up in trip as well, doesn't he, from the 12 to a 1650, which is a winning distance for him. All right, let's get into the form, starting off with a number coming out of this race behind Diamond Friends, who nicked this on the turn. Equity Doctrine you were talking about, Paul, and Jimson the Famous as well, another regular.
Yeah, Diamond Friends, first start for Frankie Law. It's a win. Had a fair gap between that performance and this one on Wednesday night. Joe Moreira again will ride from a reasonable barrier. He's going to be hard to beat again, I would have thought. Jimson the Famous gets the drop in class. He can be tricky out of the gates, but if he finds the front, he can run a good race. And I like Equity Doctrine going forward. I just don't know where he's going to be from the gate.
Yeah, I mean, Jimson the Famous will have the claim now as well, so he comes in a little bit better at the weights than Diamond Friends. I think Diamond Friends can improve off that and still beat home Jimson the Famous, but I've got them both in the numbers.
Yeah, Happy Beauty covered a lot of ground, just ignore that run
that was just forget that run. He missed the start and he went 65 wide all the way around, got to the front and he was gone down the back straight. So since then he's changed stables and he's going really nicely. And prior to that, he was an all-the-way winner.
Yeah, comes up with a good draw as well. Michael Friedman had more success on the weekend at Happy Valley. He's got a live contender here with Happy Friendship.
Michael, Happy Friendship's had a couple of runs for you this season. Have you been happy with how he's gone?
Yeah, I have. He both starts at Happy Valley, and I thought he ran well on both occasions. So he seems to have come on quite well from that last run, and he gets back onto a surface here on Wednesday night that it appears as though he's had pretty good form on.
Third up too, fitness-wise, is he near his peak?
Yeah, he's a pretty fit little horse. There's not a lot of him, so I wouldn't say fitness has been any sort of reason for him not winning his previous 2, but he seems to have trained on well.
It was a good weekend for you as well too. Fortune Booth, nice win. What did you make of it, and what do you make of his future prospects here as well?
Yeah, it was good. You know, I think to go to Happy Valley, having not been there before, and to be able to win, I think the race probably set up a bit for him, as it turned out. But it was a good effort. You know, he quickened up well. He's been penalised for that because he's bottom of Class 2 now, but he seems to have come through the run well, and probably look at running him in 3 or 4 weeks' time.
We're a couple of months into the season now. Strike rate is very healthy. Do you feel, though, from a runner's point of view, you're starting to get into gear?
Yeah, we've got obviously 3 on Wednesday and then a few more this weekend, and then probably the meeting on the 11th we'll have, you know, potentially quite a few new horses stepping out. So yeah, starting to get a few more regular runners now, which is good.
He's a winner on the all-weather before, and he's down there with a lightweight and taking some early money too.
Yeah, as Michael highlighted it, you know, when you look at the paper, the form guide, it suggests that this is his surface. And some of those, one of those wins in particular, was quite an outstanding win on the day or the night. I can't remember which one it was. So I tipped him there at the Valley. I thought he ran well. I'll stick with him on the surface.
Yeah, I didn't find a spot for him, but I wouldn't be surprised if he ran well. I mean, as a Class 5, He is down to he's down to 24 rating now, so he's he's got a good draw. Gareth's eaten the board, so he should run well.
On a favoured surface as well. All right, that's Happy Friendship. Holy Unicorn is the horse we're concentrating on, but your eyes will probably be taken by the winner of this trial as well in pick number 1. But let's stick with Holy Unicorn for now.
Yep, we can talk about him later. Holy Unicorn is put on 28 pounds coming into this. I don't know if he's quite ready. Armin Lee, Keith Young, but with that extra weight increase, and you can see he's pushed out in this trial. Although the two that Wayne Fest and second in this trial were clear of everything else.
Yeah, I sort of had him marked down as a horse that could win a race on the surface last season, but I get the feeling it's going to probably be 1800 and maybe with a few runs underneath the belt. But he will go well on this surface. Speaking of trials, here's another trial from Happy Beauty just to show you that he's going okay after that, harsh run last start.
Yeah, well, he was just pushed in behind it. He was pushed out a little bit in this, but since then his track work's been pretty good, so he'll come in pretty fit into this particular race. Interesting they're putting the tongue tie on. I don't know if he's had these breathing problems before, but it's the first time we see that gear change as well. And he can lead or trail, I think. So I think he'll run well.
All right, that's Happy Beauty, former course and distance winner. So the second of the Class 5s. How do we go in the end?
Yeah, well, I've got Happy Beauty on top. We'll give him a chance from the new stable. And don't forget his last one, as I mentioned. Diamond Friends was a good winner last time. Frankie Law's horses are red hot at the moment. Jimson the Famous, if he can get out the front, and it is sort of favouring those front runners, he'll give you a sight at a big price. And we'll give Noted Performer one more chance because he's coming back onto your weather, and I think his best run has been on the surface. So we'll go 3-5-1-8, but I would play exotics.
I'm going to tip Happy Friendship. I'll stick with him off the lightweight, coming onto his favourite surface. Diamond Friends and Happy Beauty, I think the primary dangers from their good draws. My little roughie for the program will be Exponents. We know what type of record Me Choi's got with his horses when they come onto the all-weather track. He hasn't picked up a major check yet. He's got 1 5th placing, but I don't mind him trying this surface for the first time. He's out of a Sunday Silence mare, and I think 1650 Barrier 1 is just what he wants. So I'm going to make him the long shot. Exponents. He's 30 to 1. He'll need everything to go right to win, but I'll give him a little sniff. 12-5-3-6.